Hello everybody, and right off the bat, I either want to apologize for the semi-crotch shot here or say you're welcome, depending on what camp you fall into. But the reason for it today is I want to make a really quick video talking about belts. People are always asking me, what belts do I recommend and what holsters do I recommend? So today's video is actually going to be belts and holsters combined, because there are 3 different holster levels that I recommend. You know, there's 3 levels I consider, and there's a holster I recommend for each level, a brand of holster. Now, these are all going to be outside waistband holsters since this is the way I carry, but these manufacturers make different types of holsters. First off, I want to start with the belt because I really only carry one belt. Whenever anyone asks me, what belt should I get? It is the Trackline by Core Essential. That's what I'm wearing right here. It's what I always use. Now, they have the web style belts here, like this one is right here. Now, this is a 1.5 inch belt, and they do have removable buckles. But what I really like about these is they are very sturdy, they're reinforced, but they're also the micro adjustment. So you don't have to worry about, is one hole too tight, one hole too loose? You hear those little clicks there? You can get it exactly right each time. And like I said, they have different styles here. This is the 1.5 inch web belt. It also comes in a 1 3/4 inch for when you need a little bit more stability, like if you're going to carry a heavier gun, etc. Now, this one is in the gray. They do come in multiple colors. You can get them everything black, gray, tan, camo, whatever color you want. They have a wide variety over there. Go over and choose the one you like the best. They also have different buckles you can choose. There are many different types of buckles over there. Some of them more casual like this one. Some of them a little nicer, like they have some cowboy ones and some ones with stars on them. And they have a new one right now that I really want. It is a Mandalorian belt buckle. I definitely got to go over and get me one of those. But like I said, you can get different color belts, different thicknesses, or actually I guess height would be what you would call it there, and different buckles. But you can also get leather in case you actually have a job and you work for a living. So you can get these in different color leather belts. So that gives you an option for something more casual, like the web belts. And if you need something, like I said, that's a little dressier, you can go with leather. And these come in different colors also, so you can go over and choose which color you would like in the leather belts. It shares the same features, you know, the click line thing here. And also, the thing about these belts is you cut them to size when they come. When they come, they're huge, and then you cut them down to what size you need them to be, so you don't have to worry about ordering the right size belt. So those are the belts I always carry, the Trackline series belts from Core. Oh, and one more thing, they do make a Molly style tactical belt here that once I get mine cut down and get it outfitted up, I'll have another video on. But for now, I just want to let you know they're there. Like I said, I'll give you more information on it later. And now let's move on to holsters. First, let's start with the 3rd level of holsters, which I consider to be a holster where you need a decent holster, but you need it fast and you want it cheap. That is Azula. I use a lot of Azula holsters. They're very well made. They're not as nice as like a Lobo or a 1791, but they are very nice. And if you draw from them, you know, they don't collapse. If you can see right there, it's still fully formed. I can just shove the gun back in. I don't have to worry about this part getting behind the trigger or something like I do in cheaper holsters. So whenever I say, you know, if you need one quick and fast, maybe you don't know if you're going to carry that gun for very long. Maybe you're just trying it out. So you want a holster that's going to be good for as long as you need it, but you can get better later. The Azula is really the way to go. All right, now level number 2 is what I consider to be the best production level holster, and that is a 1791 gun leather holster. These are awesome. They are very well made. The leather is very thick. You can get them in different colors, different sheens. They're very solid. They don't lose their shape when you draw from them. They stay right like they are, and this one's brand new, so it's a little sticky, but they're really good quality holsters. I don't think you can get many holsters that are better than them, you know, right off the shelf. And they're not that expensive. In fact, they're not much more expensive than like holsters I would not recommend you carry, like Winthrop or Galco, etc. So at number 2, in what I consider to be the best production holster, the second holster I recommend the most is the 1791 gun leather holsters. And now we are to what I consider my number one recommended holster, the top of the line. If you're going to have a custom holster made, if you've got the time and you got a little extra money, because they're a little more expensive, but not much more expensive, probably like $20 or $30 more expensive, I always recommend Lobo. They make a great holster. As you can see, this is a good looking holster. And they also use a triple leather design so that your belt doesn't have to do that serpentine thing through the flat cuts that are on the sides of the holsters. Really goes through really well. When you draw from them, they don't collapse. They're very easy to use. This one's a little more worn in. As you can see, it's a little beat up because I wear it a lot. Anytime I wear a brown belt, I usually use this holster and carry this gun. So there you have it. There's the number one holster on my list of recommended holster. In the custom category, it's the Lobo holsters. All right, there you have it. There's the belt I use and the variations of that belt, the core track line that I always use, and the holsters I most recommend. You know, the number one holster being the custom level, and that being the Lobo leather holsters. At number two, the best production one, the 1791 leather holsters. And at number three, you know, the cheapest option, the off-the-shelf, want it quick, want it cheap, is the Azula leather holsters. And that is my video on recommendations for belts and holsters.